Hey guys, thanks for checking out another interview. Luke Fernandez, UFC debut week. That is the interview here. Just want to preface, I did rearrange the interview a little bit. Luke was having some connection issues, partly due to my fault with a setting I had on. So I put the first half of the interview second. That's where the connection's a little bit wonky. And then I took the second half of our interview and put it first. That way, as a viewer, you can enjoy the crisp, clean quality before it gets a little patchy. But all great content, great interview, and super excited for this debut and for you guys to check out Luke Fernandez. So, again, thanks for watching. Here we go. UFC 326 Fight Week goes down March 7th. And with me today making his long-awaited UFC debut, Luke Fernandez. Luke, my man, how we doing? Happy Fight Week.
How we doing? Excited, feeling good. Just excited that it's Fight Week, long camp. It's been a great camp, so ready to get after it.
And you were telling me before we were doing all the Wi-Fi about leaving for Vegas. When do you leave? Like, I guess what's the plan there?
So we fly out Tuesday afternoon. That way we got most of the week to get acclimated and stuff. But yeah, leaving Tuesday and then weighing in Friday and getting after it Saturday.
Now, how much do you know what to expect, if that makes sense, of UFC Fight Week? Like, because I've been to a few as media, so I kind of know like the lay of the land. Are you going in completely blind? You kind of know the schedule they have you on?
Well, I mean, realistically, I'm blind, but I've done, the Contender Series, and I got a little feel of it that way in the sense of Vegas and, being in a different place, fighting, weighing in, not locally. So, I mean, realistically, I haven't done it, but I've seen the itinerary and just judging off what I've done with Contender Series, I'm kind of, visualizing it in my head. But yeah, I'm blind.
The only thing that's really going to change is just more media bugging you all week one in content. But do the content. It helps, obviously. You've been good with that throughout your career. But also, this is I'm not a fighter. I never fought it. But I have done, like I said, coverage throughout the week. Just take it all in, bro. I think I told you this for Contender Series too. But shit just flies by, man. You land Tuesday. You got media stuff Wednesday. Obligations Thursday, it just flies by. So take your first one in, bro. I'm just excited for you here. Been covering you for a long time, so it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Definitely exciting. And yeah, I've been told by a few people that, that same type of thing, like take it all in. It goes by quick. And I mean, as someone that did it, and like I said, Contender Series, that went by in a blink of an eye. So I mean, I can imagine the debuts, similar.
Now, nerve-wise, pressure-wise, I don't know if those are either of the right words, but you know what I'm getting at. What was more intense, the do or die of Contender Series or the pressure of a good first impression of debut?
I mean, I feel like you're always like each fight, I feel like there's always, the next level of pressure or whatever it may be that you have to deal with. But I mean, as a fighter, you should deal with that accordingly throughout your camp and kind of visualize certain things and just make yourself comfortable with being in certain moments. But I think the do or die of Contender Series was kind of different in the sense of, it's like it's your first time fighting in front of Dana White. And if they don't even like you based off of a win, you could still not get in. So I think it was way more feeling of I have to impress. I have to be, a certain type of fighter to get the job. And now it's not that I don't have to do that anymore. It's just the fact of I'm more focused on just doing my job and implementing my game plan and, get my hand raised, whether that be, a grueling 15 minutes or, a quick knockout or whatever it may be. My thing is I'm more focused on implementing my game plan, and that's really it.
Next question. Now that we're back, some technical difficulties here. Ultimate goals in the UFC. Probably cliche, maybe even an obvious answer, but I got to ask, what is it?
I want to be a world champion. I want to be the best in the world at what I do. I think that's why fighters, put so much time and so much effort into themselves, into this sport. But yeah, that's my goal, chasing greatness in this sport, in my weight class. And while I have the time, and the ability to do so, I want to be the greatest.
And I know one fight at a time, but timeline to yourself, any goal in mind when you would like to be really contending for a title?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I haven't really thought about a timeline and championships and stuff like that. I've been so focused on this debut and this camp and stuff. But I think that divisions, like my division, you have the opportunity to kind of make some leaps and bounds with certain fights. So I would say in the next, 2 years, that's my realistic opinion on that. But I mean, I'm down to, take some fights and take some opportunities to give me a better chance at that. So we'll see how that plays out.
And in 2 years, obviously, things will change quite a bit. But until then, even things are changing now. Alex Pereira, rumored to be, well, I guess he did vacate because now you have Yuri and Olberg fighting for the title. So that just must mean Pereira's moving up. They're saying Pereira, John Jones. So what are your thoughts just on Alex leaving and just, I guess, the overall state of the light heavyweight division?
I mean, I think Alex leaving, like you could tell he's chasing a legacy type of thing where if he could collect 3 different titles in 3 different weight classes, that's just he'll be in a realm of his own. Yeah. So respect to that, because I can't imagine, in the timeline that he's done it, somebody doing that. But yeah, I mean, that just shows now that the light heavyweight division is kind of wide open. A lot of people are gunning for the title now, so I think I'm going to be coming into the division and making a statement early on. I think in the best time to do so. And then, those opportunities might arise in the future that you can get an opportunity to fight a ranked opponent, sooner. So it's exciting. And I mean, for me coming in at this time, I think it's even better. But yeah, I think that the division is looking for a new hero or a villain. We'll see.
Can Pereira actually go up and beat John Jones?
I mean, at the end of the day, he's a large human. He walks around in a heavyweight, like he's a heavyweight when he's walking around. So yeah, I mean, if he puts a left hook or a straight right on anyone, he could put him down. So is the chance there? Yeah, but the only thing that the question people ask is, will John Jones take him down? I guess that would be the whole matchup question. I mean, I'll be watching, so.
Yeah, same, especially if it's at the White House.
Yeah, I'm excited either way.
Now, UFC's rumored, I mean, the first one's not a rumor. This is an assumption that UFC comes to Newark every, May or June. But the rumor is they're coming to Philly in August. Either of those cards be potential sophomore fights for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to fight in my home state. And like Philly being a close second just because it's so close. It'd be one of those things where, yeah, I mean, obviously if I'm healthy and everything's good, I'm definitely down to jump on one of those cards. It's hard to, say for the future, but May or June might be a little soon, but regardless, like I said, if I'm healthy, I'm down. So both those cards interest me, and obviously Newark being the ideal setting for me, but we'll see. I'm down.
And I gave the preface earlier, repetitiveness, because I know everything you're about to say here, but fans might not. So talking about home state, New Jersey, Dante Rivera, Nick Catone, all the places you train. Who are you training with? Where are you training with? Coaches, you know the deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still since day one been with Dante Rivera in Freehold, New Jersey. I cross train at Nick Catone's a lot, do a lot of work with him. I do a lot of sparring there, and a lot of people come there to spar on Saturdays and stuff. So we get a lot of different looks from guys in Jersey, some guys from PA. But yeah, I'm still with my same squad, same coaches for the most part. Still, my dad helped me with hands. I got another coach, Yark. He's from Ukraine. He helps me with mitts and hands. Yeah, I mean, I cross train also at Frankie Eggers, getting grappling looks and stuff like that. Another great mind to have in my corner with different, just little things he could add to the tool belt, whether it's mentally or physically, whatever it is. And obviously, I got guys like Corey Anderson that have helped me out through my entire career. He's a little banged up, recovering from a surgery right now, but he's still checked in, and we've talked throughout this camp and stuff. So all these people helping me out throughout my career have been the guys that have, shown that they have my best interest in mind, and they've been there since pretty much the beginning. So I trust them, and definitely have leveled up this camp by, diving more deep into some techniques and just progressing things that we've started to progress through my pro career. And I feel like now I'm starting to peak right at the right time. So I'm excited. The team's excited, and we're ready to put on a show.
Now, if someone were to ask me this question, I would say the answer is my fascination and knowledge of Middle Earth lore, which I know we can relate on a little bit. But the question is, what do you want fans to know about you? A personality trait, something, a fun fact, anything that all these new fans are going to know about Luke Fernandez?
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I'm a pretty normal dude. I do love me some Lord of the Rings. I love me watching some combat sports. I do love to bowl and I do love to golf. It's one
I
of the
didn't know you were a bowler.
Yeah, I had a PR game probably 3 or 4 months ago. I bowled a 257.
Damn.
So one of the things I do in my spare time, if it's cold out, I bowl. If it's semi nice out, I'm golfing. Uh, Otherwise, I like to play darts and stuff. But that's really my life is fighting, hanging out with family, bowling or golfing. That's really it.
And the origin story, like getting you into fighting. 'Cause I know you don't roof anymore, right?
No, I don't.
But for a long time, you roofed and fought, and your stories were insane. You wake up at 4 a.m., lift, go roof, go train fighting, go lift, go to bed, do it again. So before that, even like, what's the origin story? What got you into all this?
I mean, starting off way back when, I was just doing, odd end jobs, whether it was painting and roofing, and I was also a substitute teacher and a wrestling coach, which none of that really paid well, long term, and I didn't really have, I would say, a direct route to chase anything that I was passionate about. I would have to go back to school again to get a degree for teaching. That's what I thought I was going to do, but then COVID hit. And there, the life kind of changed just because, COVID changed so much. And through meeting my buddy that was my boss for roofing, he kind of introduced me to Dante Rivera. They were a friend of a friend at a birthday party, and he just FaceTimed me because I told my buddy slash boss that, yeah, I was looking to start training MMA at some point. I got a call at like 10 p.m. on a Sunday, and it was Dante Rivera, and he was like, "You want to fight? I'll see you Monday." And that was it. Since then, I've been there, every day of the week.
Love it, man. So roofing actually linked you up with Dante. I didn't know that.
Yeah, when people say like everything happens for a reason, I feel like looking at that type of timeline, like it was just such a chance thing for me to start working with my one buddy that I became really close with since then.
Yeah.
But it was all started because of COVID. Like otherwise, I was kind of on my way to going back to school and getting in a groove of trying to pursue a teaching career. So it's just wild how those things, little things change your direction, and now we're here. So.
Do you like being the curtain jerker, the first fight of the night?
I actually don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm not a huge fan of waiting around. I feel like I did that a bunch on the regional scene. And it's one of those things when you just when you're just sitting there waiting, time kind of slows down. And yeah, I'm more of a fan of just getting after it. So I don't mind.
Rodolfo, Bellato, one of our mutual boys actually told me about this fight a while ago, and I was like, "Oh, gonna be a good one. Got to keep my lips sealed, but booked, ready to go, and it's fight week." So, what are your thoughts on him as an opponent?
I think he's game as hell. I think he's he's a big, dangerous striker. A lot of pressure. He's got some grappling too, so I think he's a well-rounded, dangerous opponent. I'm still approaching these fights, the same way I approach every fight with my training, but obviously you game plan differently. But it's still you approach like you're facing the most dangerous fighter in the world, and then you just kind of go from there. But much respect to him. Like I said, super dangerous, and I'm excited to exploit some holes and do my thing.
And this is weird because I've known you for what, 4 or 5 at least years now, been talking to an interview. So I know a lot of the answers I'm going to ask you, so to speak, but home of fight, big platform, UFC debut, bigger platform, a lot of new eyes on you. So the repetitiveness is not for me. It's for the fans. And I ask that because I've seen you fight, or I say that because I've seen you fight many times. But for those who haven't, you say you're excited to actually show your stuff this time instead of the Contender Series necessity. So what does that look like? Who is Luke Fernandez in the octagon?
I think, super well-rounded, smooth mixed martial artist is what I truly am, and I think that I'm able to show that on the world's biggest platform, and that's what's super exciting to me. So, yeah, just making sure that, I dot my I's and cross my T's and focus on certain techniques and just adding my own twist to it and kind of implementing my style of fighting, which is, it's grueling at the same time when it comes to grappling and pressure and stuff, but I like to think of myself as smooth. So that's kind of what I'm looking to implement and show the world. So I'm excited to do that.
It doesn't have to be shit talk. I know you're a nice guy, but if Bellato is listening or if he sees a clip on media or whatever, any sort of message to him ahead of this fight.
Yeah, we're gonna lock the fucking cage and throw hands. Expect some fucking violence. I'm not looking to back up. I'm looking to come forward and make my statement. And I know it's the same. That's why the match is a good one, and I think that it shows the matchmakers are doing their job and matching us up. So I'm excited to put on a show.
And UFC, the bonus structure has recently changed, right? 25,000 per finish. I think it's 100,000 for fight of the night and performance of the night. You could get $125,000 for a finish of the night or performance of the night. What would that money do for you? Is that like completely life changing in a way?
I've never touched any type of money like that, so that would definitely be life changing. It would definitely help my situation, and change a lot of things for me in the sense of just being comfortable, after a fight and moving forward, getting some things worked out. But yeah, every fighter, seeing that bonus rate go up, first thing I think is like I have the opportunity to make that, $125,000. So I feel like that, like sometimes you think about that in your sparring rounds, you're just like, this is what I'm fighting for. I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and just like throw caution to win and just throw my hands. But at the end of the day, the fact that that's an opportunity, it can't not make every fighter super excited to really push themselves and really get the most out of their ability in the fight. So it's exciting, and it's one of the things that I always have in the back of my mind as a goal. I always want to put on a show, and if there's a bonus available, I want it. So.
And headlining your card, your first ever UFC debut card is freaking Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. Like, is that? I know you belong. I'm not asking this like saying like, whoa, like this is crazy for you, man. But like, is that any bit surreal in a way?
Yeah, it's one of those things that like obviously you can do all of the, the self-talk and the visualizations and all that stuff, but like when it's actually time to get on a plane and go, to do this and be on a card like UFC 326, it is a little wild to think about, especially in the sense of like my career. I'm just grateful that I'm at this opportunity, and I'm excited to be able to do this as my career and as something that I love. So I know I belong here, like you said. Like I know I did the work to get here and all that, but yeah, it is a little bit wild if I stop and pull myself back from being a fighter and just think about me as a kid or whatever and where I'm at now. But it's more exciting, and I think that motivates me every time I think about it. So definitely a cool thing to think about, cool experience, on the horizon for me. So I'm excited to get in there and just, make the most of this opportunity.
Well, who wins, Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira?
Dude, I'm a fan of both them. I don't know. I feel like Holloway's gonna be, looking to really make a statement after, his recent. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Max.
The last thing I want to do is this isn't even for me, and I made it last because you D-Gens got to wait till the end. But Home of Fight, they love their gambling. They got Matty Betts up there with Hey Jive and Austin, Nolan, all these big handicappers. So Matty and Austin, they run a great UFC podcast every Wednesday that I produce, and it's just them going down top bottom of the card, predictions, stuff like that. Fans love it. For the show, Luke, you're minus 245 on freaking DraftKings, which is awesome. But how are you getting it done? What should these people bet on you? And nothing nefarious here. This is just for the fun podcast.
I like to throw hands. I think he likes to throw hands. So, as a gambling man, I would say there's a good chance we're going to be throwing some hands. So I like my odds of getting it done inside the distance with some hands. But like I said, I'm a well-rounded MMA practitioner, so I'm not afraid to grapple. But yeah, I'm looking to put on a statement. So that's what I'll say about that.
I'm a money line guy, so you got to freaking, put out some bad pad work. Get that money line down for me, bro. Come on, make yourself look bad.
Yeah, I could have maybe done that. Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a little too late for that, man. A little bit too impressive of a career so far. But Luke, this was genuinely an honor, man. Starting from Amis with you all the way to freaking UFC debut. I know tons of people watching agree and feel the same way. So anything for all your fans.
Thanks for hanging out with me through this wild ride so far, and I look forward to, putting on a show for you guys in the future, just like I have in the past. Thank you for, like you said, calling my fights and calling these interviews from the Ami days. But yeah, UFC 326, the debut is going to be one of those things to remember, and I'm excited to get out there and chase this dream. So I look forward to it. Definitely tune in.
Excited for you, man. And we'll leave it at that. Tune in for sure. UFC 326, March 7th. Paramount Plus. Don't miss out. Luke Fernandez.
Sure.
Kick some ass.